What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're doing a TV season. I have seen all of Untamed. Untamed. It was a wild show, as the title will suggest. I felt very scared for all of the feralness, the ferocity of the show, the untamed nature. Stars Eric Bana, Sam Neill, Rosemarie Dewitt, and it takes place in like a national park with Sam Neill desperately really trying to hide his accent, which is, it's kind of unfortunate because I was like, does he have an accent when he plays Alan Grant? I don't think so. Not really. Why can't he do Alan Grant? He's slipping a little bit out of his accent in this. Wilson Bethel's also in here for TV fans. He's not in a huge role, but for any Heart of Dixie fans out there, or All Rise, Wilson Bethel is in here. So what is it? Well, at the beginning of the series, you see some people who are like climbing a mountain, and then all of a sudden, like a dead body drops on them. It's kind of funny. Just like out of nowhere. Beware of falling corpses. But don't worry, they're fine. The girl's not, because she's dead, which leads to investigation about who is this girl and how did she die. And we sort of navigate the waters of all that. And Eric Bana is the sort of like the lead detective here. Lead ranger, and he's gifted this new trainee from Los Angeles, and she's gonna join him, and so that he can explain to the audience through her everything that's going on. I love these Training Day movies where it's like, oh, I get a rookie. Oh, great. So I can explain things. I like this. So, yeah, so she's going to learn the ropes, but also the audience is going to learn what this is and what it is that we're doing here. And he's going to try to figure out this story, and he finds some messages, thinks that maybe there's some Native American stuff tied into this. There are these people who are who have taken up living in the park, these random vagrant people who have their own like little community, and they're oddly presented as being sort of nefarious villains the whole time anyway. Like, you can't just be like tree huggers and live in the forest without having some sort of like weird like undercurrent of criminal activity. So drugs come into play. There's stuff with like golden tattoos. Rosemarie Dewitt plays Eric Bana's ex-wife. They had a kid that comes into play. The kid died, and Eric Bana was investigating another case around the same time that he lost his son. So that case went unsolved, and there's somebody who's like the lawyer from that family who's like wandering around looking for that guy still, and is pestering Bana about this other guy that he didn't find years ago. And all of it is just kind of dull. I'm sorry, I didn't like this series. I really just, it felt cheap to me too. It felt like a series that was made cheaply on the budget, like on the lowdown, when just kind of put out. I'm really surprised Netflix picked this up for a second season as fast as they did. It doesn't even really leave itself open for a second season. It kind of closes itself off, and I'm kind of wondering where season 2 would go because of how this finishes. And like, and where? What are we doing in season 2? It's one of those when the cat's out of the bag thing and you can't put it back in. Like, clearly not all characters are going to return or need to return. I guess Eric Bana would just solve another crime somewhere. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. So whatever. I know some people are, I'm sure, loved this show and thought they were really just on the edge of their seat the whole time. And if I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna pull the spoiler cap off of this one. It became, the whole time I was thinking to myself, the fuck is Sam Neill doing here? Unless we're not coming back around to him, because they don't make a good enough use of his character for the casting of Sam Neill. So I kept waiting to see how they were going to turn it back on Sam Neill, like they do in the end, where it's like, of course, in some way, this is all Sam Neill's fault. Is he the only villain? Is he the grand villain? Is he the evilest of evil? It depends. It's all sort of like on a sliding scale of evil in this thing, but he's definitely a part of it, and that's the shoe that you're kind of waiting for to drop, except for the fact that there aren't that many big names in the series. And it's pretty obvious that at some point something's going to happen with Neill, just because they don't use him. He's not really utilized very well, as he doesn't go out riding and investigating with Bana. They're not partners. He's sort of the boss that sits back and watches things happen and just I guess hopes that Bana's incompetent enough to not solve all of the crime. I don't know. It's just, it went exactly where I thought it was going to go too. Not only did I not fully enjoy the ride, but I was expecting it to like, all roads lead to Sam Neill, and all roads did lead to Sam Neill. So what exactly am I supposed to come on here and be like, ooh, I loved Untamed, it was so so good? I don't know. I felt like it took the easy way in many ways. Sometimes it just kind of felt like they didn't have a huge budget and had to work within their means and tried to make a cheap little series for Netflix. And that's what Netflix liked about it, is it probably didn't cost a whole lot. And Eric Bana's a big enough name that if they can get him in a show, why not? I don't know. Aaron Schwarzenegger was a big name on Fubar that did make Fubar a good show, and you ran that for 2 seasons, then gave up on that. So I don't know if this is going to work. I think other critics like Untamed more than me, but I didn't like this show. It does have a great audio description though. And I want to say Descriptive Video Works to this. So a lot of really excellent, sort of well-described moments, especially like at the top of episodes. Episode 2, which sort of flashes back and shows the Jane Doe. I won't spoil everything for you to tell you it leads to Sam Neill, but I didn't tell you how it leads to Sam Neill. When she's trying to like escape and all the little details and stuff, there's a pretty strong attention to detail here that I really liked, that I appreciate, because it's a show that takes place almost entirely outdoors. So there's going to be a attention to like nature. There are these little carvings, like little like Native American carvings that they find. The flashbacks to his son and his son dying and stuff like that, those are sort of, they come and go. They're done well. I like the audio description track. I just don't like the show. I don't like Untamed. I wasn't that interested in the mystery, in the reveals. We didn't get to spend enough time with anything. It didn't sit. I don't think it's written nearly as well as people think it is. When I think maybe we're just so used to accepting mediocrity out of Netflix that now we're starting to think it's good. Like, this is kind of like what I feel about The Waterfront. Like, I liked The Waterfront, but I also recognize it's not Ozark. Like, Netflix used to take a little bit more TLC with their shows, and they created higher quality programs as a result. So it's like, can I watch The Waterfront? Sure. Is it the best thing No, it's not the best thing they put out. But it was fine. It was entertaining. I liked Topher Grace in it, but it's a far cry from Ozark or from some of the other earlier shows, like Bloodline. So now we're just at like we're at content creation phase, where we're just trying to push out this super accessible content that it's okay. They're just aiming for okay. And Untamed feels like it was never trying to be great. It was just 6 episodes of okay. It was being billed as a limited series. I don't think it ever had the potential of being picked up, and then they just went ahead and were like, oh, well, let's do more with Eric Bana. Can't wait to see how that goes, since this series closed the door on everything, but whatever. That's what we do now. So, Untamed, I'm gonna give Untamed I'm gonna give Untamed a 4.9 out of 10. I just didn't really enjoy the show that much. It has good acting in it, that's about it. All I can say is I didn't mind any of the acting. I just didn't like the story. I didn't think it was that well written. Thought it was kind of predictable. And there you go. Those are my thoughts on Untamed. It's a rotten score. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.